Hey, it's Mark. We're going to talk about a couple industries tonight. I'm going to look at the shipper stocks. I'm going to touch on the EV charging stocks. And I'm going to look at some other stocks that I added to my watch list and a stock that I traded today. And I'll probably cover semis too and some of the major indices. So let's jump into it here with the indices. I drew up this trend line yesterday or a couple days ago, and it's been holding in this channel trend line there pretty well until yesterday. It poked out and just made a new high. So I realized when it opened up this morning that there was still a chance that it was gonna test the highs because it didn't really dip down that much overnight. So it's kind of like a perfect setup for a breakout. And it also just happened to catch support back from August. You can see it had support back in August. So that's another level that held to off of these lows in October. So it's looking pretty short-term bullish. It's trending off of this channel break there, so it's looking pretty good. And Russell's pretty much the same thing. It just kind of went sideways, and then it's a little weaker. Like there's not as much of a momentum break. Like it's still in a down channel actually. When you look at it there, so it's still got a ways to go to have any kind of really bullish technicals. The technicals on the Nasdaq are better just by the fact that it broke out of this sideways channel. So it has some momentum. And the regional banks were pretty much just uptrending back up to that channel resistance like I was talking about. Like it's been trading really well on this down channel. You can see it better there when I blow it up. It just came back up to that level there. So based on this channel, it's gonna test again and it'll come down, if it's gonna keep respecting it. But we'll see what it does. It's still a down channel, but it's near that major level too. So it's still trying to just get some momentum, but we'll see. And the semiconductors held in pretty well too today. Not quite as strong technically off of the high yesterday, or on Friday, but um, it's looking pretty bullish still. It's still got the channel support there, and you can see it in AMD too. AMD basically retested this down channel there and held, so it's looking pretty bullish. So I'm pretty bullish on AMD. It's probably the best looking chart at the moment out of the semis that I found. And TSM is pretty similar. TSM is pretty similar looking. It's got the same kind of price action. So I still got my Soxel SOXL calls, so those are still looking good, technically. And Soxel is the 3 times bullish ETF. The other ones, the home builders, XHB, really broke above this downtrending channel that I had drawn out. So it's looking pretty bullish off of that down channel break. Like it looked like it was gonna do another bear flag like it has in the past here, but it's looking like it's really trying to get some momentum, but the long-term momentum is still broken because it's trading below this major level there, which was the rounding top confirmation. Like that was the top pattern there, and it's still bearish, in the near term and the midterm, the next couple months or so. But it's really trying to put up a little fight there. but it's still got a long ways to go if it's going to actually get near the highs. It's pretty far off. The uh, the other ones with the charging stocks, those were those were down about 6% each, respectively. EVgo has a really bad print today. It's a shooting star candle, and the other ones weren't any better really. CHPT just bearish engulfed that green candle from yesterday, and it's looking pretty bearish. And the BLNK finally started to show some bearish action there on this little mini bear flag break. It just broke down. You can see it did a little bear flag. It's very similar to back there. It did a bear flag and then cracked and then followed through. So I added some more of these puts today, the BLNK, because it's a bear flag break right now. And I believe it broke through the lows too. The low was 287 and it hit 286 today. So it's looking really bearish. And the other ones were the shippers. I still have a lot of the other puts on too. Like a lot of them are still acting pretty bad. Like I traded the SPWR puts, and this one's breaking down again too. So that's still a good short setup too. And the JKS is just kind of messy, choppier, not as good. And the other ones I was looking at SSTK. Shutterstock is kind of in the same business as the Getty images, and with these new AI tools to make images, you can even do it for free to an extent. There's a lot of competition now in these image generation, image storage stocks. So SSTK, like I don't see them really excelling with because you can create your own images now that are realistic looking, with AI, with Bing images that it's using the open AI tech. So as long as there's open AI tech available, like they're pretty much some of the best right now. I mean, there's Stable Diffusion, and there's just a lot in Mid-Journey. There's a lot of competition now in this industry. So even the Getty, I don't know, like it's still tough for them too. I mean, they started incorporating AI, but the competition is just different now. It's like a different landscape. Because all these open source and all these other image software tools are widely available to anyone. So that's that one. And there's another EV charging stock that's more European, but I haven't looked at them in a while, so I just want to check that one out too. Wow, yeah, I haven't looked at this one in a while because they're in the European market mostly, but it's taken out levels too the past couple of months. So we had a new breakdown last month, and it's in the same kind of nasty downtrend. Like if we draw some channel lines here, so got a pretty good down channel and a lot of sell volume the past couple months because always red bars. So and back here there's like a lot of accumulation, near the lows back with these big high volume days, but I don't see that here. So this one's looking pretty bad too. So I'm gonna add that one to my basket of I basically I do have puts on all of the major EV charging company stocks right now. I've got puts on CHPT. I got the $3 long dated puts on this one, and I've been trading it a lot, over the past few months. since I found them. Like I've been talking about it and really been pounding the table on these like almost every night for geez like 3 months now I think. So and it's down over 30% since I started talking about it, about shorting it. And the BLNK is finally starting to look good too. So let's add Wallbox. I'm gonna add Wallbox to the list too, and I'll check out the puts on that one because it's at a little inflection point here. Based on the past, this will turn into a bear flag, like it tested this channel back here and was a bear flag. So it's set up. It's really a bear flag setup right now. If it can break this last flag there. So we got to add this one to the watch list. And let's get to the shippers, and that'll be the last thing we'll look at. I noticed some of these shipping stocks months ago when I was scanning, like it was more the oil and gas or the oil ones, like DHT was pretty strong, back in September, and it popped up with oil today. I'm more bullish on the setup on the shippers, on the pure dry bulk shippers, because they tend to make runs in the fall. If they ever in the past when they've had big runs as a sector, it's always in the fall, usually like in October and November, and that's pretty much might be happening again because they're near highs again, and there's some weird volume stuff going on there, but like that was a big sell day, but it's just reclaimed the up channel. So it's in this channel and it reclaimed it, and then it's at a monthly breakout level. So it's got that base that I like to see. It's got a long base and some clear levels that it can break above. So if it breaks above 804, it's it did today. So it's a good setup. Like I put on the calls today. I tweeted that out or posted it on X. I bought some calls, monthly calls. And my other favorite one's the SBLK, which is already broken above. It's already broken above the channel, and it actually broke above, retested essentially there, and then so it's got probably the better technicals out of all of them, and it's got some really nice volume days. Like down here you can see these big days, and it's at the top of the channel now, so I'm not expecting a huge pop right now. It might come back down, and retest this lower bound there, but it's good technicals going right now. And SHIP's been kind of quietly trending higher too, and it's at a breakout. It's over breakout levels. Nice uptrend. Of course, they have a lot more to go till they're at the yearly highs, but they're strong here. They've been pretty strong with the market going down, which to me is telling. You can see the market. Most of the major indices were down on these months. So the other one I just found was Frontline. It's oil and gas or oil, but just broke out too. And I noticed something interesting with the last one is the OP. It's kind of unpredictable trader, but if it breaks out, it's a possible long, but it's really choppy. I noticed the XPO logistics because I was just running through all the transportation stocks, and I found XPO, And XPO is it's a logistics company. It's mostly trucking. They do trucking logistics, uh, and so it's really a risk on, very cyclical type, strong economy kind of stock. Like you can see in 2002, it was pretty much what was down, but was really weak in 2022, and it's definitely a leading indicator possibly on uh, the economy. So I was kind of surprised to see it's actually breaking out here. I wouldn't have thought it would have been this strong this year because I didn't see it this year, or never hit one of my scans, of course, because it's kind of higher priced. But it just broke off of a bull flag. It did a little bull flag there, and it's at it's at the yearly highs, which is really bullish, even on the economy. So there's a lot of mixed signals out there, like and FedEx is not doing too bad on the year. UPS is worse. I mean, really, if you're looking at that sector, Amazon's big, but Amazon's not doing too bad either, really, on the year. But I was kind of surprised to see the XPO so high, because I was trying to think of some more trucking companies off the top of my head. Like, there's a lot of trucking companies, because those had some pretty rocky quarters. So it's kind of surprising to see the XPO up so much. Let's just go through this. I want to find some truckers because that may be something telling with the truckers, with the XPO logistics. So transportation, it's one of the higher volume. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the airlines are just continuing to get annihilated here. American Airlines, United Airlines, Delta, JetBlue, all back on their lows again. They're trying to bounce but couldn't. And the Hawaiian Holdings is down too. That was one of my short scan findings. Yeah, a lot of these ones that I've been talking about in these short scans that I run in these videos, they're down a lot still too. Like AAOI, that one's down a lot too. I took it off my radar because it was doing some weird stuff here, but when it broke out here, because I found it, I believe, on that gap down day there, and then it looked like it was going to come back, and then it ended up being a fake out. It's kind of just a bear flag, and it's back on this breakdown area here. Yeah, the one I'm looking for is just a trucker. But XPO is just really incredible. It's kind of remarkable how well it's doing, the stock's doing. Yeah, best way I'm just gonna be able to find it through an industry scan. That's why I really like StockFetcher because it's really easy to navigate. So we just go through the industries here, shipping, transportation, yep, trucks. There we go. Yeah, JB Hunt. Yeah, They had a pretty bad forecast from their earnings call months ago, but the stock's really not doing that bad. I mean, the XPO is just leading them all. 'Cause, I mean, none of the stocks are really that great except the XPO. Yeah, size, another big one. It's not doing so great. Well, it's actually, yeah, that's actually pretty good. It's still pretty near the highs. So it's not really bearish on anything. Like, if these trucking companies are really busy, it's an indicator of economic activity. So, so those are ones I might watch still too. But these shippers have a good chance here of some follow through, especially if the market bounces, which it looks like it's going to. Let's look at ES too. Well, it looks like a huge gap up on ES. Yeah, ES just broke some downtrend momentum there. So yeah, it's definitely in a downtrend, but it's really trying to make a downtrend break, especially if tomorrow is green. So those are the ones that I really want to talk about, and I want to do a video on. Oh yeah, natural gas. That was another one. Yeah, natural gas. I've just been following the technicals on it. I noticed it has a really long base, really long sideways channel that's been in, all year, and every time it got up there, I just reject. But it started to uptrend actually over the summer. So it's just uptrending, making higher lows. And then we did a lot of congestion up here, which, when there's a lot of congestion in price up against a major level, that means that the price is comfortable there. So when the price is, comfortable at a level, that makes it a lot easier to push higher and break out and be a new trend. So that's what it did. It really displayed really nice price action technically based on the way it congested. It congested around a price level which is bullish. In this case, if it congested around the downtrend levels, that would be bearish, but it's been pushing up higher all year, so it was a bullish setup. So it's looking pretty bullish, but the people that would follow the fundamentals in natural gas would tell you there's really nothing really new about it that would warrant a move like this from the summer lows. But I think based on my analysis, I looked at the history of what the price did in the fall and winter, and most of the major runs that gas has had has been in the fall season, like right about now. So that's why I took a peek at it again, and I was a day or two late looking at it, but it's a really good breakout there. So if it breaks out, I'm just going to get long UNG, but it looks like it might consolidate and come back down because it doesn't really put up a lot of back-to-back days. So I'll wrap it up there, and I'll catch you later.